Pryce is the most overpowered Johto gym leader by far. He took out Ho-Oh and Lugia with a Delibird, became Team Rocket's super boss, and committed the most heinous crimes. This man lost everything, blamed the world for it, and decided that if time could take from him, then he would take time from everyone else. He didn't want money, he didn't care about power, he wanted the past back, and was willing to get it by any means possible, including violence, brainwashing, kidnapping children, and erasing the future. The reason will shock you. This is Pokemon's coldest tragedy, how a broken heart can be the deadliest weapon. Pryce is the Ice-type gym leader of Mahogany Town in the Johto region. He's a cranky and impatient veteran, having trained in Pokemon battles for over 50 years. Even before having this level of experience, he was known for being talented. With the two coupled together, he's thought of by some as the strongest Johto gym leader, who doesn't use his strength for good. Following his Pokemon mysteriously leaving him, he believes Pokemon are tools and can never be friends with humans, so should be treated as business partners. Pryce symbolizes the elderly person who had a fruitful youth and is kind of living in their own shadow. Their hard exterior makes opening up almost impossible, unless you're Ash Ketchum. When the red Gyarados is rampaging, Ash tries his usual friendship speech, forgets he's not Naruto, and nearly gets hyper-beamed into dust. Pryce shows up at the last second with his fat man Dugong and saves everyone. Then he immediately calls them dummies for trying to be friends with Pokemon, saying they're just tools for battle. They run away to deal with the Gyarados. The next day, in Mahogany Town, Ash goes looking for the gym leader, and he's surprised to find it's the same grumpy old man from yesterday, now meditating under a waterfall like an icy mountain monk, or Chuck. Ash challenges him, but Pryce refuses, saying Ash and Pikachu are too friendly, and therefore will make bad, dumb decisions. That's two insults in one sentence. Ash talks back, but Pryce does not tolerate backchat. Dugong comes out, Ash whips out Phanpy, because he has been doing so well recently, despite the type mismatch, who gets erased in 5 seconds max. Pryce basically proves his point, and says he chose Phanpy and lost because of his emotional connection with Pokemon. This whole situation is like when the teacher butters you up before the exam, knowing that you'll fail anyway. Team Rocket interrupts to steal Pikachu. Pryce returns just to call them idiots, then everyone gets smokescreened. Pryce falls off a cliff with Ash, and suddenly it's a survival episode. Ash saves Pryce's life, and Pryce softens a little bit. He treats Totodile with medicine and admits Ash has a special bond with his Pokemon, but he's still not fully buying into the whole friendship concept. He's got a lot to learn about anime. Brock and Misty learn Pryce's backstory from a woman named Sheila. He used to be cheerful, warm, and treated his Pokemon like family. Then he entered a national competition, lost badly, and got severely burned. His partner Piloswine vanished during their recovery. Ever since, Pryce lived up to his name, which means ice, and became Icy Pryce, cold in personality, cold in type, and cold in trust. While trapped together, Pryce and Ash find Piloswine's old leg bracelet. Pryce opens up. Piloswine was just like Ash's Pikachu. They dominated tournaments together, until their first crushing loss. After that, Piloswine disappeared, and Pryce assumed it abandoned him. That moment froze Pryce's heart harder than any ice beam. They discover an icy cave, and inside is the subscribe button, which you should totally click if you've been enjoying the video so far. We smashed our monthly goal of 1,000 subs thanks to all you amazing people. So let's get to 1150 and maybe 100 likes and support my production team, which is me. Inside the cave was Piloswine, frozen solid, holding herbs meant to heal burns. It never abandoned Pryce, it left to save him. Ash decides to save them by triggering their PTSD with a fire attack to melt the ice. They are reunited and the real Pryce is back. The next day, the gym battle finally happens, and Pryce is completely different. He's kind, calm, and actually happy. Dugong vs Cyndaquil starts things off. Dugong dominates the battlefield with water and ice, but Cyndaquil keeps slipping, gets frozen, then burns itself free. Ash baits Dugong in by throwing Cyndaquil into the water like a sacrificial noodle, then launches Swift to send Dugong flying out of the water, and a flamethrower to take it down. Piloswine comes out next, blinds everyone with Blizzard, and takes down Cyndaquil in one hit. Pikachu comes out and tries to use speed, but ice physics says nope. Piloswine summons another blizzard, while Ash calls thunder from the gods, only to do 0 damage. Pikachu starts ice skating and uses a masterful tactic of bouncing off the battlefield boulders to use its speed. Piloswine can't land a single hit, while Pikachu gets in close and lands a devastating thunder. Pikachu somehow hitting ground types with electric moves again. Piloswine rests and starts beating Pikachu up with Fury Attack and Takedown. Pikachu starts spamming Thunderbolts, sending it into the water. Piloswine being wet makes Thunderbolt hurt even more, until Pryce throws in the towel because he's concerned about Piloswine's health. He hands Ash the badge and Pryce is impressed by Ash's battling ability. Watching Pryce go from emotionally frozen war veteran to warm old man with his partner again is one of Johto's best character arcs. This fits well with his Japanese name Yanagi, meaning willow tree. Willows bend under heavy snow but don't break, kind of like how Pryce went through a tough time and was changed, but not beyond repair. What you may not know about Pryce is his sinister secret in the manga, as he's the man terrorizing Johto from the shadows. A figure wrapped in grief and obsession with an unbreakable will. He lost what's important to him, and nothing can stop him getting it back. Unless a main character shows up, or Goku. In the Pokemon Adventures manga, Gold enters the Ilex forest and finds a beaten trainer. He's suddenly attacked by powerful Pokemon, and a mysterious masked man appears. Why does every villain use a Ghastly in the manga? The man warns Gold to stay out of the forest like it's a haunted Walmart. Gold remembers that this masked man is known for being highly dangerous, extraordinarily powerful, and of course unidentified. He's a serious threat to Johto, and it's recommended to just run if you ever encounter him. But Gold decides to fight him anyway, trying to rip his mask off at the very least. He gets the doggy beaten out of him, tied up in the forest and emotionally damaged when the man says Silver is better than him, and that he already handled Silver, something that Gold never managed to do. He vanishes and Gold slithers out of the Ilex forest like a caterpie. Later on, Gold and Silver go to investigate the Lake of Rage's case of rampaging Gyarados, and end up catching the red Gyarados. Then, the masked man shows up again. They fight him and get toyed with. It's revealed he kidnapped Silver years ago and believes compassion is weakness and obedience is power, which is a wild parenting philosophy. He smacks Silver and threatens Gold at knife point with Delibird's Ice Spear, but Quilava saves him. It turns out the masked man was using the red Gyarados as a brainwashing transmitter to control the other Gyarados. Once Silver caught it, they were all freed from brainwashing. Understandably, they're all pissed with the masked man, and they all hyperbeam him, and Delibird casually wipes them all out in a second. Silver gets wrecked and left to sink to the bottom of the lake with Gold watching every second. The masked man finds Gold again and apologizes for ignoring him by dropping a massive ice boulder on his head. Both Gold and Silver were defeated and left for dead. Lieutenant Surge investigates a suspicious Rage Candy Bar shop. After dealing with Gold and Silver, the masked man shows up, kindly offers to dump Surge in the lake with them, and surrounds him with Houndour. He radiates such raw evil that Surge blows up hidden Electrode just to escape, not even bothering engaging in battle with him. Badly injured, Surge flees, and he states that he's more scared of the man's heart than his Pokemon. The pure evil energy wasn't even worth facing. Surge was like, screw this, I'm going back to Kanto, but he runs into Morty. He gives Morty some things he found to locate the owner, and with Morty's magical powers, he finds out that the owners are Silver and Gold, and he locates them, still alive and at the Whirl Islands. While this is happening, there's news that Suicune has been going around Johto attacking gym leaders for no reason, and word got out that it's targeting Pryce next. The media crew and Pokemon Association with Whitney as a VIP guest all head to Mahogany Town to investigate. They're greeted by Pryce, who offers them tea and shows them his magnificent ice sculptures, including Charizard, Chansey, Lantern, and the last one, Suicune, who turns to life and starts attacking them. They start battling and take out the Suicune, only for Pryce to reveal that it's actually just an ice sculpture. He has mastered the art of creating moving ice sculptures and apologizes to everyone. He says the purpose of this ice Suicune is to help him prepare for the real Suicune when it attacks. Once everyone leaves, Pryce delivers an unsettling line that he had to lie because he knows for a fact that Suicune won't challenge him, and with very good reason. Suicune earlier avoided Pryce because it was actually searching for trainers to help it fight against the world terror as an evil is brewing. A long time ago, the legendary beasts were sealed away and the Tin Tower was desecrated. The beasts escaped the seal and urgently set off to find human allies to punish the vandals and eliminate the evil. Suicune challenges Misty next, and after a short battle deems her worthy enough as an ally, and they partner up. Lieutenant Surge goes to find the boys at the Whirl Islands, returns their things, and asks for more information on the masked man. They run into Lugia, who's already on a rampage, and are later joined by Crystal. Their starters all evolve during the battle out of desperation, and they manage to take down Lugia. They catch it, but find out that Lugia's not really in the Pokeball, and the data hadn't been recorded in the Pokedex. On top of that, their Pokedexes all go down at the same time, like someone is jamming them. They put on their detective hats and put the pieces together. Footprints in the cave, Lugia already being on a rampage before they saw it, the flashing light in the cave. Lugia had been battled before they got there and captured, making Silver angrily storm off. Surge gets a letter from the Pokemon Association of an essential gym leader tournament, which is mainly to weed out masked man suspects. The masked man visits the rocket base to do a little bit of torturing his employees, then heads to Tin Tower to challenge Ho-Oh, confidently pulling up with his overpowered Delibird. Everyone is unsettled by all the events taking place in Johto. People are starting to suspect that this mystery guy might be a gym leader. All of the gym leaders are present for the tournament, of which Gold states one is their true opponent. The gym leader tournament goes on, and Pryce is matched up against Erica. Erica does some flashy flower things with Skiploom and gets obliterated anyway by Swinub. Morty is like, hold up, he's clearly the strongest Johto gym leader, and it's easy to see why he's the captain of the Johto team in this tournament. Gold is like, wait a freaking minute, he's every bit as powerful as the masked man. The chairman agrees, but is conflicted by Pryce's stature, saying that there's no way a weak man like him could be capable of such devastation. Gold and Crystal find out there's someone following them, so they chase them into the Indigo Plateau's control room. Those followers turn out to be the masked man's helpers, Carl and Sham, who say their boss is already at the Tin Tower battling Ho-Oh. Gold is super confused as all the gym leaders are still at the stadium battling in the tournament. Turns out this bait was a trap. Gold and Crystal get locked in the room and also find out the magnet train has been hacked by Team Rocket. They quickly beat up Carl and Sham, then warn everyone on the big screen about Team Rocket and the hacking. The screen gets hacked and switches to the masked man fighting Ho-Oh, causing mass panic. Team Rocket hop out of the magnet train and crash the tournament, brainwashed by the masked man and ordered to eliminate all gym leaders. Team Rocket attack everyone, including spectators, so the gym leaders get on the train to fight off Team Rocket in a closed environment to protect the spectators, until the doors suddenly slam shut and it was another bait, and the train zooms off to a random location. Gold and Crystal manage to escape the control room and, to their horror, witness the masked man in front of them, with Ho-Oh on one side and Lugia on the other, both under his control. Ho-Oh and Lugia start deleting the battlefield. Gold and Crystal have absolutely no chance and are beaten from pillar to post. The masked man targets Kurt and demands the GS ball, which can capture time itself. He mocks Team Rocket for wanting money and the Elite Four for wanting land. He wants time. When Kurt says it's impossible, the masked man grabs Kurt's granddaughter by the neck, steals Kurt's scrolls and materials. He decides to make the GS ball himself. Nobody can stop him. Now the gym leaders are all trapped. Entei crashes the event and ends up choosing Blaine to be its trainer, and fittingly, Raikou chooses Surge. Blaine, Misty, and Lieutenant Surge escape the train and head to the battlefield with the legendary beasts at their side, only to get steamrolled by Ho-Oh and Lugia even after supercharging the beasts with Mystic Water, Charcoal, and Magnet. It's revealed he once controlled Ho-Oh to kidnap children 9 years ago, including Silver, and used them as grunts. The beasts tried to stop the masked man, and he was the one who sealed them in the burned tower. Ho-Oh and Lugia continue obliterating everyone. It's so one-sided that the masked man even manages to find time to sneak in a quick neck grab on Surge for a little chokey time. Feeling overconfident, Pryce hands control of Ho-Oh and Lugia to Will and Karen and heads to the Ilex forest to finish his plan. Gold fights him with all he's got. and manages to crack the mask open. The masked man is revealed to be Pryce, Mahogany Town's gym leader. Will and Karen torment Green with Ho-Oh and Lugia, knowing she has some bird trauma after being trapped by Ho-Oh as a kid. There's a flashback to a long time ago when Pryce kidnapped Green, Silver, Will, and Karen when they were much younger as children. In a life or death situation, Green overcomes her fear and prepares to fight. Silver joins by literally grabbing Lugia's tail. Gym leaders fight Team Rocket everywhere. Bruno realizes Pryce probably wants Celebi, the time Pokemon in Ilex Forest. Big brain moment for Bruno. Red and Blue join Green, who has at some point captured the legendary birds. They fight Ho-Oh and Karen. Silver fights Will and Lugia. Will admits he and Karen begged Pryce for training, so they weren't actually kidnapped. They wanted to join Pryce's force of evil. Silver is relieved that he doesn't need to feel sorry for him anymore and starts going feral on Will until he quits. Pryce fends off Gold with his ice magic and finishes the GS ball. Misty, Surge, and Blaine with the 3 legendary beasts are all wiped. The latter want another crack at the masked man, but need to find a new trainer, so Crystal volunteers. Bill fixes the transfer system so the world can send Pokemon to Ilex Forest. An absolute army shows up. Lance's Dragonite and Tyranitar, Agatha's Gengar, Jasmine's Steelix, every Pokemon you can think of. They use their combined forces to battle Lugia and Ho-Oh, who are freed from brainwashing in the conflict and fly away without any injuries. Pryce realizes it's now or never, so he creates ice monsters and traps the world in an eternal ice prison. He captures Celebi and goes back in time to save his 2 Lapras, La Pris and La Pris. Gold, Silver, and Crystal follow him through time. They witness why Pryce wants to travel back in time. His 2 Lapras die in a heartbreaking avalanche, and Pryce wants to bring them back to life to fix it, and reunite them with his existing Lapras, Glace. They're traveling from time stream to time stream, and Gold wants to settle this alone to keep his friends out of danger, so leaves the Rainbow Wing and Silver Wing, which are needed to safely travel in time, with Silver and Crystal, and pursues Pryce alone. He catches up to Pryce finally, and invents Super Rising Thunder with Pichu, which uses electricity from Raikou to land a deadly and critical hit on Pryce and cracking the GS ball, and Celebi escapes. Pryce's remaining Lapras, Glace, reunites with the other 2 Lapras before they died, which were actually its parents. A bit of backstory is revealed. Pryce was once friends with Oak, Agatha, Kurt, and the daycare couple. After losing his Lapras, he became bitter and isolated. They wrote a song called The Boy and His Lapras to reach him and cheer him up, but it failed. In the Time Rift, Celebi tries to heal Pryce's heart by playing this song from long ago. This plucks a few of Pryce's heartstrings. He seems satisfied that he reunited his 3 Lapras, even if he can't join them. With a heavy heart, Pryce tells Gold to treasure his friends and youth and lets himself fall into the crack in time, never to be seen again, until he comes back as a gym leader like nothing ever happened. Pryce in the games is a lot more light-hearted. In the Generation 2 games, Pryce is the 7th gym leader and is known for having over 50 years of battling experience, which is interesting because he's also known for being laughably easy to beat. His original team is Seel, Dugong, and Piloswine. Seel and Dugong are kind of meme Pokemon, while Piloswine is pretty strong. But there is no danger from his Pokemon at all. Who cares that Quilava is weak to water and ground when he doesn't have any of those move types? Also, he's a lower level than Jasmine's team, who is the gym leader before Pryce. Considering the journey between Jasmine and Pryce's gyms, why on earth was his team level lowered? At least they buffed his levels in Heart Gold and Soul Silver to 30, 32, and 34, which is still lower than Jasmine's Steelix. His Pokemon still aren't threats due to their awful movesets and non-utilization of their best offensive stats. It doesn't help that his ace is weak to every starter type. In the Heart Gold and Soul Silver rematch, they gave him a good team, but they're still lacking in movesets. Torment, Payback, Glalie, Ice Shard, Frostlass, and Dive Sheer Cold Dugong? Abomasnow and Mamoswine are definitely ones to watch out for, with beastly movesets and just being hard hitters in general. In the Pokemon World Tournament, his team is amazing. He finally has a Lapras to tie his manga counterpart in. His Mamoswine is a true beast as usual, but the rest of his team have something to keep an eye out for too. Full Offense Psychic Gem Jinx, Perish Song Dugong, Shell Smash Cloyster, Hail Blizzard Lapras, and Dark Gem Night Slash Weavile, who's probably gonna crit you. The more you look at it, the more you realize this is just Lorelei's team, as 4 of the Pokemon are exactly the same, but on steroids. This surely signifies his true abilities and makes gym leaders seem actually strong. And also Lorelei wasn't in the Pokemon World Tournament, so they needed some kind of replacement. Thanks everyone for watching if you made it this far. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, but also comment what surprised you the most about Pryce, and which version of Pryce do you like the most? As usual, I liked his manga counterpart the most, as it was just a huge surprise. Nobody expected the masked man to be Pryce of all people. See you all in the next one.